Hey everyone, welcome to Saving Vegas. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the inside of my Yamaha CA-1010 that I just recently purchased a few days ago. I've already got a video up. We took a really close look at the condition of it. I had some speakers hooked up to it and played around with it, trying to get a nice clean sound out of it. There was a little bit of crackling and I had some issues with the meters were a little bit off. It was showing higher on the right channel than the left. Whether that just needs to be adjusted within the power meters themselves. There is adjustments in there to level them out. I don't know if that's the issue or there was something more in depth. I don't have the equipment to actually test it properly to set everything. So I already knew after buying this I was going to be taking this in to a certified technician. There's a guy locally here just to get looked at, cleaned up, see if it needs anything. And after it's sitting here for a few days, I get a little impatient and I thought, well, you know, because I was able to get everything working, I thought if it's not going to be that hard to get at all the switches and everything inside, I thought I'd take a stab at maybe cleaning them up myself. And then after opening it up, there's a couple of visible signs that yes, this thing indeed needs to go and get serviced. I was not surprised. 1977 to 1980 is when they made these, so at best it's 42 years old. So it's definitely, I assume, going to need to be recapped. I don't know a lot about the amplifier side of things. I've done a lot of recapping of crossovers on speakers, and my general rule with that is usually anywhere 20-25 years. Any older than that, it's worth a recap, and I've done a few of them with a lot of success. Really good results anyways. I've never done it on an amp, so I really wasn't planning, or I really didn't think that I was going to do that myself. But with this, I'm bringing you guys in nice close. I'll show you what I've seen. And basically just why, if you buy anything like this at this age and you're unaware of the history of it, it never hurts to bring it into a certified technician to get checked over, and so you don't wreck nothing. So I've already kind of been inside here, that's why I decided to make this video, but I will show you guys. It's really easy just to kind of take a quick look and I'll show you kind of what to look for. Yeah, so the guy I got it off of, just going off the information he told me, it hadn't been used in over 2 decades. I was hoping for the best, thinking, well, maybe the caps aren't bad, there's not a lot of use on them. After opening it up, it wasn't too hard for me to tell that, yes, indeed, it needs to go get looked at and set by somebody who knows more than me. So we're gonna open this thing up. I'll show you guys what I saw first thing. I didn't get too deep into it. I did take a couple things apart just to kind of get a better visibility in there of the components inside. And yeah, that's was basically my deciding factor that I am not gonna touch this. I'll just put everything back together, take it in, and then I'm gonna worry about it. Alright, so the first thing I did, pretty easy. I'm going to take the wood case off. Nothing too crazy there. There's just 2 screws on each side. 2 there and 2 on this side. So yeah, there's 4 of these guys to take out. You need a Phillips screwdriver for those. That was fairly simple. Once those are out, lift up at the back and then just slowly, there we go, slide it up and out of the way. And so that's the first thing I seen. Obviously, it's dirty. I was expecting it to be dirty. It sat for over 20 years. Dust gets in there. It's better than what I thought. It's actually really good. There's no damage, there's no nothing. So yeah, after you get it opened up, there's 2 screws here in this plate. So this is kind of covering up your, I guess it'd be the input board, I'm not sure. But I wanted to get underneath here to see, there's some capacitors and there's lots of stuff going on underneath there. The first thing I saw, which I thought was pretty neat, is in here, these switches, they've actually got little U-joints that go and they run underneath here. So they kept everything separated and they don't have circuits running all over the inside of this thing. So it's kind of neat, actually. The design is really brilliant in this. I feel you don't get the same kind of design in the new stuff today, but so before we get to taking this off, the first thing that caught my eye is right here in between the heat sinks here. there's two capacitors right here. And as soon as I seen this, I knew this needs to get, these need to get be replaced, and I'll show you guys why. So right here, you can see, get in here. That this has been leaking all the crud out from the inside. From what I was able to find for information. I mean, obviously it's not supposed to be like that. So that one there, and same with this guy here. You can see it all here. So these need to be replaced, which looks pretty easy. It's something that I would attempt doing if that's all that needed to be done, because they made it pretty easy to get at the solder joints on the end. So this really wouldn't be that hard to do. But again, I'm not going to attempt it, because there's much more that needs to be done. There's a lot more to it, and that the technician's going to do and go through and clean. So no point in me, doing half the job and then taking it into him. I'll take it into him, and he can do everything. Also, these are big. Wow. Here, visibly, you can see, I can't really see. There's no swelling. I don't see any leaking. So probably going to get these replaced anyways, just due to age. And if he's in there working on it, might as well get it all done. So going to get these replaced. I don't really care how much it's going to cost. The amplifier itself, in my opinion, it's worth it. And we're inside. Be silly not to. And look, this transformer. Wow. That's where the weight comes from in this thing. Like, it is heavy. This thing's got to be around that 50 pounds, or maybe a little less, 40 some pounds. I'm not sure what the specs are actually on it. This is most of it right here. Huge. This CA-1010 gives you, it has the ability to run in Class A operation only just by flicking the switch. And with that, from what I learned in reading reviews, is it gets really, really hot running in Class A mode. I did run it in Class A mode. I was just very cautiously. I think I ran it for about 45 minutes. And I was keeping track. I had my heat gun out, and I was going across everything as I was running it. So, knowing these need to be replaced, there's also capacitors underneath here. I think this would be the input board, because all your selections on the face run off these U-joints here, like I had said earlier, and then actually run into underneath this plate. So getting this plate off really isn't too much of a challenge. There is 2 screws here. This one was a little tougher to get out. I had to be really careful not to strip that one. I actually had to get my little vice grips out and grip it from the side to spin it out, so I didn't strip them. But those little screws right there, those are the guys. And then once those are out, there's 4 more, and they're inside of here. I don't know if you guys can see in there. I've got them out already, loosened already. You don't have to take those out. Those actually hold that input board in place. You just have to loosen them. And then once you get that one, this one, and that one out, this whole thing will slide back, and then you'll be able to pull this right out. So now you can see in here, I got a little bit going on. So I was expecting to have to do some cleaning and whatnot in here. So this is actually, wouldn't really be that hard. Everything's nice and open in there, easy to get to. But we've also got some caps here and here, the bigger ones. Now, here I think these are rated at 85 degrees Celsius. So these have, from the information I was able to find, 1,000 hours at that 85 degrees Celsius. So that's the lifespan. So if the amount of hours on it depends on temperature. If it's less, you'll get more hours. If it's more, you'll get less hours. So that's why I figured, if anything, these would be shot before these, and these do look worse than these guys do. But these, if you take a close look in here, you can see they are also leaking. Maybe not as bad. But because these are surrounded and this is all where all your heat is coming out, this is where the vent is, and they've got on the back as well. I was expecting these will probably go before these, but they both, all of them need to be done. There's others that I'm probably going to have replaced as well. But as far as visibly seeing if they're bad or not, they don't appear to be swelled up or nothing. So, but they're getting done anyway. So yeah, so just from these two and these two here, I decided not to play around with it. Plus, it needs to get tested and rounded. I don't have the equipment to do that. To get a bias set and my meters, see if make sure they're set properly. But yes, so that's a quick look at the inside. That's as far as I went. That was all. That was as much as I needed to see to convince myself. Well, I'll just put it back together and I'll leave it to the professionals. It doesn't take much just to pop the lids off these and take a look under the hood. As long as you're sure you're not going to damage anything. I know myself. I like to see for myself, and like I know, and not that I would have doubted a professional telling me it needed to be done due to its age. But I like learning just as much. So, but as much as I like to learn and do things myself, I also know, well, by screwing things up in the past, I've learned some things just need to be left to the people that know more than me. Yeah, so that's the next thing I'll be doing with this. I'll be bringing it in, getting it looked at, and then when it comes back, it should be good as new because everything else is in really good shape and I'm expecting good things. So that's going to do it for this video. Right, for everything I just showed you is a good reason why you take these things in, you guys. If you're unsure of the history when you buy these, take them into a certified technician and get them to look over it and do it all. There's lots of special tools and instruments that they use to go through these properly, and it's always a good idea to let them do it. And then when you get it back, it should be good to go for years to come.